What's up, spectators? Welcome back to the episode of Virtue's Last Reward. Last time, at the very end of the video, we found a dead body inside one of those, Ambidex rooms. And we brought her back to the infirmary, but she did. Carrying her felt almost like carrying an old dry piece of wood. Oh, I'm sure she would love to hear that. We set her down carefully in the infirmary bed as if we were afraid she might break. She looks so peaceful. Almost like she's just going to wake up any minute now. Well, that'd be creepy.
Maybe she didn't suffer much when she died.
Let's hope so.
Anyway, I feel a little bad about doing this, but I think we need to examine her.
You mean like an autopsy or something?
I'm just going to have a look at the wound. If we had a coroner, then it would be a different story, but... What?
I have a medical license.
You're a nurse?
No.
You're a doctor.
Well, I'm not exactly a coroner.
Interesting. I guess you really can't judge a book by its cover, can you?
Wow, rude.
Sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
Are you really going to perform an autopsy? Oh, I won't really be doing it. I think that machine over there is a medical scanner. It's called an ATOM. It uses nuclear magnetic resonance imaging to examine and diagnose people.
Ah, yes, I remember.
Oh yeah? And just how the hell do you remember that?
Because Alice, Clover, and I examined this entire room.
So you think you can use it to perform some kind of autopsy?
Yes, I think I should be able to manage that.
Luna ran the scanner over the body, then turned back to the terminal. The display filled up with text, most of it rather technical. Female, age 65 to 75 years old, deceased. Cause of death, exsanguination. Estimated time of death, 3 to 4 hours. Damage trajectory, weapon entered through the fourth intercostal, piercing heart. Wound characteristics. Wound margin, clean, continuous. Angles, 1 sharp, 1 blunt. Cavity, 150 millimeters. Length, 30 millimeters. Width, 3 millimeters. Based on the characteristics described above, there is a 95% chance the wound was caused by a sharp, single-bladed instrument. Wow, I've never seen a nuke med scan that's so descriptive. Yeah, I don't really get it. What's it mean by instrument? Was she stabbed with a clarinet or something? Oh my god. Oh, Sigma.
It means a tool of some sort. A knife, probably.
In other words, she was stabbed in the heart, right?
Yes.
Well, I suppose that clears me of suspicion.
Sorry, but no.
Why? Please, don't tell me you think my hand can somehow turn into a knife.
I told you that was a joke.
Then why am I still a suspect?
We found the old lady in one of the AB rooms, specifically the one farthest to the left. Before we went in there, only 2 other people had been in that room. You and Clover. Only one of you was conscious.
Fi, please, stop joking around. I assure you, there was no one else in that room besides Clover when I woke up. She must have been put there later.
But the door was locked, right? I don't think anyone could have gotten in without the key.
Perhaps, but there was a hatch on the ceiling, remember?
Yes, there was. But Zero said he locked all the hatches.
Well, if he was telling the truth, nobody could have gotten in there after you two left. Which means...
You fucking bastard! Why'd you kill her, Kay? I knew it. You're him, aren't you? You're the real Zero.
Wait a minute, please. Just calm down. You aren't making sense. Let's suppose I am Zero. Why would I do something that would obviously cast suspicion on me?
Well, because you figured we'd think that. And you'd throw us off the trail by doing the exact opposite.
That's not a logical argument. Still, you do have at least half a point. Your argument doesn't confirm my guilt, but it does show us where we should be looking. The real Zero. The person who brought us here is likely the person who murdered that woman. Doesn't that seem like the most reasonable answer?
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. If Zero was the murderer, then they could open anything they wanted to. I mean, didn't Zero say something about that?
I live in the master computer.
I live in the master computer.
That means all the electronic doors in this whole warren are under my control.
Exactly. Also, consider this. If the murderer isn't Zero, why would the AI Zero stay silent? He told us that his job was to make sure the game ran smoothly. But now the unexpected has happened, and he says nothing. Why would he do that? If he can see everything we do, then he must know who killed the old woman. So why has he kept his silence? The answer is simple. The murderer is Zero, or rather Zero Senior, I suppose you could say. He likely ordered Zero Jr., the AI, to keep his identity hidden. If Zero Jr. told us about the murder, then Zero Senior's identity would be compromised.
It's a pretty outlandish theory. The most reasonable one is to assume Kay did it right now. He's going on about all this stuff.
There is something else to consider as well. Perhaps this murder was not unexpected. Zero Senior murdered her, just as planned. Death is only another part of the game.
Killing someone's just part of a game to him?
Well, there's no way to know for sure, but I would assume so.
Ten minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
What was that?
I don't know.
Well, one thing's for sure.
And that is...
If we don't go vote, something bad's going to happen.
You see? Just as I said. Zero Jr. ensures the game continues, even though someone has died. All of this is part of Zero Senior's plan.
Let's get back to the warehouse. If we all head to the AB rooms, maybe we'll see Zero Jr. After all, he told us he'd give us specifics once we gone in.
We're really going in there? I kinda don't want to. I mean, there was a dead lady in there just a few minutes ago. Wait. Fi, where'd you go?
Up here.
Up? Whoa. What the hell's she doing? You must be really desperate to get high.
Seriously? That's the best you can do? I was expecting something about how I jump at the first sign of trouble.
Whatever. What are you up to up here anyway? Everybody's already gone into the AB rooms.
Yeah, well, there was something I wanted to check out.
And that is...
This thing. Remember it?
the hatch?
Try opening it.
No luck. It won't budge.
Then that means this AB room is locked down tight. No one could get in.
You're talking about whoever killed that old lady, aren't you?
Yeah.
You still think it's Kay, huh? Well, like Clover said, if Zero Senior is the killer, then it wouldn't matter if we could open this hatch or not.
I know. I just wanted to be sure.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Let's go. I imagine Algernon's waiting for us.
He's a rabbit.
Look, there's something on the screen.
Yeah, you're right. The Ambidex game will now begin. To enter your vote, please touch the start button on your screen. Once you have entered your vote, the door will lock automatically. It'll not open again until the polling period is finished. Well, looks like there's no going back now.
Astute observation.
Hooray! Everybody's finally here! I've been waiting.
So have we. We got some questions for you, Zero. Who was that old woman?
Will all of you please stop bombarding me with questions?
All?
The other people in the other rooms are asking me stuff just like you are, Siggy. I guess you probably can't hear them since these rooms are completely soundproof, but B.O. is especially loud. For real, B.O., I need you to shut up. There isn't much time. I gotta hurry and explain all this stuff, or the game will end before I'm done. So, no more questions from now on. No answers for anybody, okay? You just have to wait. Now, let's get this party started! Let me tell you about the AB game. Since it's a game, you're obviously going to have an opponent. But it's not like this is a battle royale where you just fight everybody. Each round will be a one-on-one battle. Mono a mono, or mono a womano. Well, there are 2 people in each pair, aren't there? So it'll be more of a 2-on-1 battle, I guess. Now, I imagine you're all wondering who your opponent is going to be. It's actually really easy. You'll be competing against whoever you paired up with to go through the chromatic doors. For example, Siggy and Fido paired up with Mooney and went through the magenta door, didn't they? That means that Siggy and Fido will be playing against Mooney. And it goes the other way too. Mooney's opponent will be Siggy and Fido. Obviously, that means Potassium and Cleaver's enemy will be Alas. And B.O. and Quark's enemy will be Tenmioli. Well, I guess enemy isn't really the right word, is it? After all, if you choose ally, then they're your ally.
What? Don't get it? Well, don't worry. Just listen while Zero the Third explains it all.
First, I want everybody to focus on the screen on the device in the back of the room. You should see A, ally, and B, betray on it. Do you?
All you guys have to do
Is pick! Just pick one of those easy options! Your BP will go up or down, depending on what you pick. It's a little complicated, and some of you are a little slow. So, I made this handy chart. The plus and minus are from your point of view. So, let's say you choose ally, and so does your opponent. You'll get 2 BP, and so will they. And you'll all get a nice warm, fuzzy feeling inside. We call that the best pals outcome. Just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Next is what you get if you choose ally, but your opponent chooses to betray. If that happens, you lose 2 BP, and they get 3. We call that the stupid jerk face outcome.
somebody did that to me, I'd skin them and stew them with some taters.
The third choice is the opposite of that. It's when you choose betray, but your nice, innocent opponent chooses ally. This time, you're the one who gets 3 BP, and they're the one who loses 2. We call that the serves them right outcome. I mean, what were they thinking? Choosing ally was a stupid choice, and there's nothing for you to feel guilty about. And finally, the very last scenario. This is when you choose betray, and so does your opponent. If that happens, neither of you get to lose anything. Absolutely zero change in BP.
Boring. We call this the why even bother outcome. As the game master here, this is the situation I want to avoid the most.
You're probably wondering about the pairs, aren't you? Well, let me explain. Remember how I told you that both people in a pair share a destiny? Well, that applies here too. The two of you only get one vote. You get to choose once between ally or betray. That doesn't mean you split your points, though. You both get 3 points, or lose 2 points, or whatever. In other words, what you see on this chart is what you get. Okay then. I think that about does it for the basic rules.
Actually, there's a little bit more. But
It'll just have to wait, I guess. After all, it's almost time!
Hey! Wait!
No, I won't wait and I can't wait. Didn't you hear me? It is time!
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
You see, it's time for me to be hopping on out of here. See you later. Have a nice trouble.
We don't have time to talk about this. Choose betray.
What? You're kidding. You really want me to betray Luna?
We don't know if she'll ally or not. If we choose ally and she chooses betray, we're screwed. That's a loss of 2 points. You tell me, Sigma. What's 3 minus 2?
11, 9, we get out of here. It's 1, obviously.
Exactly. If our BP gets down to 1, it's over. So?
What do you mean by it's over?
30 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Just press the damn button.
You're hiding something. Yeah, you've been suspicious from the get-go. I mean, how'd you know my name? Or how about when we found that old lady's body? You didn't even blink. Almost like you knew she'd be here. Look, I don't want to believe it, but did you... Are you...
Fine. If you won't do it, then I...
Don't think so! I'm not gonna move until you give me some answers. If I don't do anything, it'll just vote ally for us anyway. So let's hear it. What are you hiding? What's it's over supposed to mean?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Yeah, give me your explanation in 4 seconds.
3.
Come on, Sigma, it's impossible.
When your BP hits 0, you die. That's what I meant.
1.
Luna's a sweet girl. I could never. Vote has been recorded.
Round 1 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
As Find I stepped out of the AB room, I could see the others running toward the monitor, shoving and pushing to get closer. Tenmyoji was left behind, his footsteps a slow, heavy plod. What had happened to make him like that?
What was that, Sigma? Don't play dumb. You chose ally.
Oh, did I?
Didn't you hear me? I told you
Nope.
that if your BP drops to 0, you die.
Yeah, I heard you. A whole second before the deadline. How could you expect me to think anything through that quick? It would have taken like half a second just to process what you'd said.
No, you could have done it. The brain's processing power increases during a crisis. It starts working so fast that a second can seem like an eternity. Your brain was doing that right before time ran out, wasn't it? Well, am I wrong?
What the hell are you talking about? Okay, fine. Let's be generous and say hypothetically that you're right about this crisis overclocking thing. How would you know whether or not my brain was doing that? Did you crack open my skull while I wasn't looking? You just wedge a microscope in there and have a look at my neurons? He's really taking this metaphor far. Let me be straight with you. Your shit's whack. Ugh. Your shit is whack like hella whack. Your shit is whack like hella whack. Hate you so much. You just know stuff you shouldn't. Stuff like my name or how if your BP hits 0, you die. You told me you don't know why, but more and more I'm starting to think you've been lying to me.
Yo, what's up? Siggy! But no! Hey, what are you kids doing over there? We're about to announce the results.
Let's go. Time to see what the results are. Maybe it's different this time.
Hey, hold on.
Good. Looks like you're all here.
Finally, let's get ready to rock! Ambidex game! Round 1! The results! If everybody would please direct their eyes to this monitor.
Here are the results from your game. Now, let us check the numbers on our bracelets.
Thanks, Luna.
Oh, no, it's nothing. You don't have to thank me. I only did what anybody would have done. I believed in you and Phi.
When Luna glanced away, I threw Phi what could only be described as a smug grin. Rather frustratingly, she didn't respond, only turned away unperturbed. I was about to press the issue when I heard Tenmyoji's voice.
Quark, what happened?
No! It wasn't me! Mr. Dio tricked me! He told me he'd pick Ally! He promised! That's why I let him do the voting!
Is this true, Dio?
Are you serious? This kid's full of shit.
What?
I didn't do squat. Quark was the one who decided how we were gonna vote. You wanna know what he told me?
You just leave the voting to me, Mr. Dio. Grandpa's gonna choose to ally for sure, 'cause I'm his opponent on this one. I think we should betray him.
Yeah, that sounds real.
To be honest, I'm getting kinda tired of that grumpy old bastard. He's had a good life, but it's time for him to go. What do you say we leave the old fart here and leave?
Yep, that sounds right.
I've got a plan. See? Don't worry about me. I'll just tell him you tricked me. He'll believe whatever I tell him. Besides, if he still trusts me, that'll make it easier to use him again later. What do you say, Mr. Dio? Pretty good plan, huh? Alright, let's do it.
You're lying! I never should have trusted you! Dio! You're a lying jerk!
Sure, kid, keep whining. See if I care.
Grandpa! You believe me, right?
Don't let this brat fool you, old man. All of this is just part of his plan.
You bastard! I'm not gonna let you get away with this!
That's enough, Quark. Don't lose your temper. How long have I known you? I could be deaf and blind, and I'd still know if you were lying to me.
Really?
You're just as gullible as he said you'd be. Hook, line, and sinker. Let me give you a little warning, Tenmyoji. That little shit is a hell of an actor. I'll bet you money he's a born con man. I don't know what he is to you, but if I were you, I trust the kid as far as I could throw him, and at your age, that can't be much. You hearing me, old man? Keep an eye on him.
It's all right. I understand.
I'm so sorry.
I apologize. This is very unfortunate.
It looked as though another argument had taken place while Cork and Dio were fighting. Whatever it had been about, it appeared to have resolved itself.
The past is the past. There's no point complaining about it. I'll just have to try and get those points back in the next AB game. Zero, when does the next round start?
What makes you think we'll be having another round?
Well, you said round 1. If there's a round 1, then there's likely a round 2.
Besides, didn't you say the goal of the AB game was to get 9 BP? That's impossible without a second round.
Yeah, I guess you got a point. You're right. There will be a second round.
When?
I don't know.
Why not?
The voting happens when an AB gate opens.
They're already open.
Right, you are. So, let me just close them.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 2 of the Ambidex game will be the Moon round. Moon cards will be required to open the gates.
Moon cards? Does that mean we can't use these cards anymore since they got suns on them?
Yes, indeedy. Now, you'll have to look for cards with moons on them.
So, how many times do we play the AB game?
I don't know. As many times as you need to. It's anybody's guess how long it'll go. But I plan on keeping this party going until somebody opens the number 9 door.
So it's over when someone gets 9 BP.
Nope. As long as that person doesn't open the number 9 door, the game goes on.
Of course. You could also get stuck just below 9 BP, where every bunny just keeps going back and forth and back and forth when you lose points. After all, if there's no bunny with 9 BP, the door can't open.
But there are a finite number of rooms, so what happens when you've cleared all the rooms, right? Do you just redo the same... I don't know.
If that happens, you'll just have to continue on to round 3, and round 4, and round 5, round 100, round 2000. You might even go all the way up to round 24,009,004,897. Although, I really, really hope it doesn't come to that.
Can I ask you something?
I don't know. Can you?
There are rules about who can go into the secondary doors, right? Like, you have to have 3 people exactly.
Yeah? So?
Well, what about the number 9 door? Are the rules the same?
Nope. There aren't any rules about how many people can go through that door. It could be 1 person, or 2 people, or even all 9 of you. There is one thing though, Ziggy. All that stuff about how you have to have 3 people to go through the secondary chromatic doors, maybe it's not 100% true.
What? What do you mean?
Well, you can open the door with just 1 or 2 people if you want.
That's not what you told us.
Well, I didn't want to make things complicated.
Then explain it now.
Just use the bracelets.
What? How?
There's a sort of scanner between the 2 doors. It checks to see if the right people are going through. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's scanning the people.
So, it's scanning the bracelets then?
Ding ding ding! As long as the scanner sees the right combination of bracelets, it doesn't matter how many people there are!
But, wait, hold on a minute. Do these things even come off?
No, yes! They do indeed.
Then how do I take it off?
Well, there's 2 ways. The first is to get through the number 9 door and escape. As soon as you're out, the bracelet unlocks all by itself.
What's the second way? Hey, Zero, wake up, will ya? What's the second way?
Oh, Theo. I think you already know.
What?
Do you really want to get rid of that bracelet?
Of course I do!
Oh, well, I see. It's easy. Nothing to it, really. You die.
Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical impulses.
You know what an electrocardiogram is, right? Technically, it's a machine that graphs the electric current flowing across the myocardium, but you probably know it as the thing in the hospital with the little light that goes beep, 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 beep when someone dies on a TV show.
Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood. Your fancy little bracelets pick up on that. They're always watching. So, when that signal goes away...
The lock on the bracelet releases, right?
Yep. So there you go. The second way. Your heart stops. Your bracelet comes off. Apart from that, there's no other way to get the bracelets off. If you try something harebrained, like trying to break them or something, you'll be disobeying the rules. I don't think I need to remind you what happens when you do that. But if you're lucky, you might get to see a few of them come off during the next round.
Oops. I guess it's not going to be very lucky for some of you, huh?
Next round.
Yep.
What do you mean?
Well, do I have to explain everything? Somebody might die during the next round of the AB game. There. That's pretty clear, right? If I had to guess, I'd say it's going to be 10 Mjolnir or less. One or the other. Or... it might be both of them.
Wait, what?
Why am I going to die?
I guess I can tell you why. Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized, just like when you break the rules.
I'm pretty sure I already told you what the penalty is.
You mean the needles in our bracelets are gonna activate, and we'll die.
Correct, Siggy. Full marks.
So, Fi had been right. But how had she known before Zero told us?
I see. Alice and I only have 1 BP. That means we'd have less than 0 if we lost 2 points.
What? What the hell? This is important stuff. Why didn't you tell us about this earlier?
Sorry.
Sorry's not going to cut it. I thought you were supposed to tell us the rules, not hide them.
Well...
Is there anything else you've conveniently left out? It's not fair to make people play a game without explaining all the rules.
I think it's fair. After all, it's not like anybody else knew. Right? Right, Fido?
Yeah, I guess so.
I took a moment to go over everything in my head. The AB game would continue until someone opened the number 9 door. There were no rules about how many people could or couldn't pass through the number 9 door. That meant it was possible for everyone to escape. The secondary chromatic doors could be opened by any number of people so long as you had the right bracelets. The bracelets would only unlock under 2 conditions: if you left the building or if your heart stopped. If your BP hit 0, the needles in your bracelet would activate, killing you.
Oh, one last thing. The next set of chromatic doors you'll be going through are downstairs. You already saw them, right? There should have been 3. Red, blue, and green. That means that to get through, you'll need bracelets in cyan, magenta, and yellow.
But wait, you've already got those bracelets. Have a look. The color's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it did change. Mine changed from red to cyan.
Me too. Mine's cyan now.
Mine too. Wait, I guess the colors weren't the only thing that changed. It switched from pair to solo.
You're right. Mine switched from solo to pair.
Mine is now a solo as well.
Yep, looks like mine's changed too. I've gone from solo to pair.
I'm still a pair.
The three of us seem to be magenta now as well.
I'm yellow, and it still says solo. Fi, you and Dio are yellow now too, right?
Yeah.
Looks like I'm a pair.
When did they change?
Back when the AB gates closed. As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too. And of course, it's totally random. No rules or anything! Now, with all of that explained, I must bid you adieu. Sadly, we may never meet again.
What?
Well, there's not really anything for me to facilitate anymore. I mean, you guys are good from here, right? I'll never see you guys again. Did you really think I was gonna cry? Suckers! As if I'd cry over you dummies!
You fucking dick.
You mad? Anyway, good luck. I may be gone, but I'm always watching. Maybe I'll see you again someday. Have a nice tragedy.
That little piece of shit. If I could just get my hands on that little fucker, I'd squeeze him till he popped.
That sounds gross. I don't really want to think about that.
So what happens now? We've still got a while until the chromatic doors open.
Yeah, looks like about 42 minutes.
We should go and see if we can find any other exits. Maybe there's a vent or a disposal chute or something. If there's a chance Zero missed something.
I concur. There's no point in standing around. We lose nothing by looking, and if we find nothing, we can always return and go through the chromatic doors.
Let's split up. 5 minutes would give us a good half hour or so. Let's meet in front of the chromatic doors 5 minutes before they open then. Any objections?
There were none. After some nods and mumbling, they split up and moved off to investigate. I was the only person who stayed behind. Damn. How the hell did I end up here? Why? Try as I might, I couldn't think of anything I'd done that could have landed me in Zero's game. I hadn't pissed anyone off, at least not this bad. I didn't owe anybody money, and my family certainly wasn't rich. If anybody was hoping to get a fat ransom payout for me, they were going to be very disappointed. Obviously, I wasn't some kind of genius, nor was I an Olympic athlete, and I certainly hadn't been chosen by God to fulfill some great purpose on His earth. Well, at least if I was, I didn't know it yet. Hang on, I gotta put Tank Sim sitting in my lap with my legs falling asleep.
Wake up, buddy.
Okay. Had I started a fight with a frightening and mysterious new religion? No. Had I hacked into some terrorist group's server? No. Had I witnessed an assassination? No. Had I gotten wasted and had a one-night stand with the mistress of a prominent politician? Yes. Really? But it was just the one time. And she was the one who went after me. Anyway, I was just an ordinary college student. If there was a reason I'd been abducted and put in the Nonary Game, I sure couldn't see it. Why was this happening? I thought back to what I'd been doing right before I was taken. The memories were still a little blurry, but they were there. December 25th, 2028. Early morning, California desert. The moon was beautiful. I just finished writing a paper due that day and was heading to my car from the research building. The parking lot was empty and a bright moon cast sharp shadows across the chilly pavement. The last time I'd looked at the clock, it had said it was 2 in the morning, which meant that today was Christmas Day. So why was I at school, typing away feverishly on Christmas? There were 3 reasons. First, my home computer had suddenly decided to eat shit. When I hit the power button, I just got nothing. I didn't have the time to spend all night troubleshooting the stupid thing, so I headed back to campus to use one of the school machines. Second, the professor in charge of my research group was a Buddhist. Christmas didn't appear to have any sort of significance to him, and part of me couldn't shake the thought that he was trying to make some kind of point. Third, my girlfriend had broken up with me a week before. I'm sorry. I don't think we should see each other anymore. Goodbye. Wow, that's the shittiest explanation I've ever seen. All I'd got was that one cold email, and it was through email! Try as I might, I couldn't even get in touch with her. Of course, that meant I wouldn't be attending the party we'd been planning on going to. Somehow I didn't think drinking by myself around a bunch of happy couples would really be a good idea. At any rate, I'd stayed up all night to finish my paper and emailed it off to my professor before the sun began to rise. As I walked across the parking lot, I felt light. Perhaps it was the relief of finishing my paper, or perhaps it was the 5 energy drinks I'd chugged to stay awake. Perhaps it was both. I slid into my car and stuck the key into the ignition, after only 2 tries. I twisted the key. Nothing happened. I jiggled the key in the slot and tried again. And again. And again. On the 5th try, the engine made an odd creaking noise like metal on metal and fell silent. You stupid piece of shit! That's no way to talk to your car. I screamed and pounded on the steering wheel, but nothing worked. I mean, for a guy who dresses as like a mechanic, you'd think he'd be able to handle this a little better. The console was about to get a visit from my fist. And then I farted. What? What the hell is this? Why is my car smoking? I clawed at the door, and for a moment, I thought that it was just my panic and lack of sleep that were keeping me from opening it. It wasn't long before I realized the truth. Open, goddammit! What was going on? My mind was racing, trying desperately to puzzle out what was happening through a haze of fear and caffeine-fueled neuron misfires. That was when I saw it. Just a glimpse in the rear-view mirror, but I was certain there was someone behind my car. I spun around as fast as a very tired college student sitting in a car can. Who's there? My vision started to swim as the smoke filled the car. The more of it I inhaled, the heavier my body felt, and I could already feel the world starting to go dark. The last of my strength failed, and I collapsed sideways into the passenger seat. My eyes slowly drooped closed. When they opened again, I was in the AB room with Phi. Why is this happening to me? I spent a few minutes wallowing in misery. I figured I deserved at least a little self-pity. But even I knew that brooding and whining wasn't going to get me anywhere. Like Kay had said, we need to at least try and find another way out. So I shook my head to clear it, stood up straight, and headed off. Well, it looks like, I'm assuming I'll have to go to all 3 locations, and that's gonna take a while, and this video's already been just about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna end this video here, and next time we'll check out starting from the lounge and work our way down. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!